Nothing beats a good cup of coffee. Something different today, guys. This is my coffee setup. Let's talk about it. Right, so welcome back again to KanthrHD. My name is Caleb and we're talking about coffee. So in case you didn't know, I am a massive coffee fan and coffee drinker. I have at least 1 to 2 cups of coffee a day. If it's bad, maybe 3 or 4. But in any case, I have a cup of coffee every single day and I absolutely love it. Now, this coffee setup is something that I recently did. I've had this coffee setup for the past month or so. Before that, I had the DeLonghi Latissimo Pro, and that just takes pods. But I was just like, I want to go back to actually having coffee beans grinded nice and fresh, because if you know anything about coffee, fresh beans are the way to go. So I decided to say that, look, I am not going to go back to a different setup. Now, when it comes to your actual coffee setup, there are many different things that you need to consider. But the main and most important one, I would say, is your grinder. The best coffee baristas in the world always say if you give them a good grinder and a decent enough espresso machine, they will be able to get a good coffee, right? So the grinder is very important. And the grinder of choice that I went with is the Eureka Mignon Crono. This is a very good flat burr grinder. Okay, now when it comes to flat burrs, when it comes to a grinder, there are a few different types, but the main two that I would go for is a conical burr grinder or a flat burr grinder. I went with a flat burr grinder, not a conical. So basically, a conical is just, as it says, it's a conical, so it will grind like that, but then a flat burr grinder will grind basically like that. So I decided to go with a flat burr grinder and not the conical one, because it gives you more of a consistent grind compared to the conical, but it does have its own quirks. You do have to maintain it a bit more because of the way it basically the way it grinds is it will grind the coffee, and by the pressure the coffee beans will, or the coffee grinder, actually shoot out, up and outwards, and then go straight down into the extraction there. So it doesn't go down like a conical. So because of that, you do have a lot of wastage of coffee beans, and a bit of the coffee actually does stay there. So whenever you're trying to change the coffee extraction from fine to coarse, you should always do it while the coffee grinder is actually running. It just helps with that. Otherwise, you're just going to get a lot of wastage in there. So I really wouldn't do that. But I would say this is a very good grinder. So moving on from this is now my coffee machine of choice. Guys, when I say I had to look into this, if you ask Eunice, that's my wife, it literally took me like 2 or 3 weeks of intense research to actually decide on the espresso machine that I wanted. And I ended up going for an old coffee machine that I actually had. Now this is the Sage Duo Temp Pro. Okay, so it's got 1 boiler, and the reason why it's got a duo temp is simply because, as you can see there's a steam one there, and then you've also got the Espresso Shot there, and it also dispenses hot water just in case that is something you're looking for. So the reason why I went for this one is because, number one, it's got a very good extraction, a decent amount of extraction when it comes to it, because I was thinking of getting the Gaggia Classic, but I just decided to go more for this one, because if you get that one, you're really going more of it into a hobby than anything, because you really need to get into it. Because the good thing with those machines, you can really modify them, like seriously modify them, and that's just something I'm not into just yet. I really just wanted to go back to drinking good coffee, and then eventually, if I wanted to go there, I can easily just pick up one of those, and I can sell this one and buy that one. So I got this one for £170 on sale. Normally it goes for about £190, and I got this one as well on sale for £140 when normally it goes for £370. I know, guys, somehow, somewhere, I always get a bargain here and there. But yeah, so I got this one on sale. It was second hand actually, but it was on sale. It was in really good condition. I decided to get that one, but that was brand new. And I also got a nice little knockbox for after you're done with it, and that was for about £10 as well. So yeah, this is literally my coffee setup. So let's look at making some coffee. Right, so guys, this is the grinder again, the Eureka Crono, well, Eureka Mignon Crono. I just like to call it the Crono, it's much easier. So this is basically how it goes. That button there starts the grinding process. You've got a little switch there and a timer on the side there, and that's your little basket with coffee. I've got medium roast coffee in there, 100% Arabica beans, so going to be very nice. So that's basically the portafilter for the coffee machine, right? And this is basically how it goes. Yep, you will make a bit of a mess there, but that's fine. So that's basically how it looks. Really nice, good amount of coffee. Then just press it down with your little tamper there. Yep, just even that out nicely. And that's basically you done with your nice ground coffee. Cool, great. Now we're going to move over to the coffee machine. Now that we've got our coffee over there, we're now going to use the coffee machine. Now, one of the reasons why I chose this coffee machine is because number one, as you can see, that says steam, that is hot water. That's basically for the steam one over there. And then if you turn it to the left, that takes out your coffee. Turn it to the right, that's going to be for the hot water or for the steam. And as you can see, the little tamper there, little magnet in there, and that's just a heating tray for your coffee mugs right on the top. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to try and make a flat white, okay? So basically, got our milk in there. Just going to wait for that to heat up. So it's on, as I said earlier on, it's only got one boiler, so you can't do them simultaneously. You're going to have to do them one at a time. So you just have to wait for it to heat up. As you can see, it's just about to go through. So basically what you're waiting for until this is just too hot to touch, or if you have a thermometer, that will, of course, it will be better, but I've been doing this for quite a while, so I just know, I hear it, and then I also know how it feels when it's basically around where you need it to. It's almost done. Right. We've got our milk ready. Little cloth there to clean up. Very important thing, always purge it after to get rid of any excess milk in there. That's that basically done. So now what it's going to do is it's literally just going to wait for it to cool down a bit. So that's just jetting out any of the excess or excess heat. So that now goes in there. And what it actually does, this machine, is actually does a pre-infusion. So once you actually turn it on, it won't just go straight through, just release a bit of water just to wet the whole puck in there. That's what it's basically called. Then once the coffee puck is wet a bit, it would then now actually put through the full pressure. And the reason why it does that is because it's trying to battle against channeling. Okay, that's where there's so much pressure, just basically goes through one route. So turn that on, put your coffee mug below. It's a very nice pour, very dark. And this is manual, it's not timed, so you need to normally wait for about 30 seconds. A quick rule of thumb is you're trying to look for 60 mils after 30 seconds. Look how it looks, really nice level of crema in there. Just going to give that a little swirl just so you can make sure you retain the flavor. Then now, that's the milk that we got over there as well. As you can see, pretty decent milk, and I am just going to attempt to actually do some latte art, but by looking at the milk, I don't think I have done the best of jobs on this milk. Oh no! I messed it up right at the end. But that's the coffee. And interesting. But quick drink test. That's a good cup of coffee. It's a good cup of coffee. Right guys, so that's basically my coffee setup. Once again, Sage Duo Temp Pro and the Eureka Mignon Crono. These are some very good equipment. Honestly, I would highly recommend them, and I will leave links in the description below just in case you want to go out and purchase it, as well as this little knock box. Sage actually have a really nice knock box. That's the one that I actually wanted, but I mean, I'd already spent so much on these two, so I just decided to just get a slightly cheaper one, but it gets the job done. So if you're a coffee person like me, guys, I would highly recommend that you go out and get a proper coffee grinder and a proper espresso machine, and trust me in saying you will not regret it. But anyway guys, I hope you liked this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and share the video out. I'd really appreciate it. But I also just want to say thank you so much for sticking with me for the past few months. It has been amazing, and we're almost at 100 subscribers. So I really just want to say thank you so much guys for taking the time out just to watch my videos, share, like them, and comment them. It really means a lot to me. But anyway guys, I'll catch you guys on the next one. My name is Caleb. This is KanthrHD. See you on the next one.